What's going on, everybody? Welcome to episode number 356 of the Smark Out Moment Smack Talk podcast. I'm your host, as always, Tony Mango, and this is the hot tags of the week, where I break down some of the gossip and the rumors and the news and the scuttlebutt and the current events of the past week in the world of professional wrestling. How y'all doing tonight? Make sure you leave your comments below and tell me what you think of everything that I'm going to be talking about here. Make sure that you like and you share and you do all the other kind of stuff that I'm going to mention at the end of this in my little plugs section before I sign off. But, of course, before I sign off, I have to talk about some stuff and actually have a podcast. So let's just dive right into things here with some positive news going on here. Mia Yim has signed with WWE. She is now a part of the Performance Center, which is awesome because if you've been following the Mae Young Classic last year and this year, in my mind, at the very least, she's one of the standouts. Now, she's not the one person that, if I had to pick one person who hasn't been signed yet, which one that would be. Last year, Jazzy was one that really stood out to me, and Tessa Blanchard was, of course, one, but Mercedes Martinez is the one that I'm really, really looking out for as far as, like, why haven't they signed her yet? But Mia Yim was very close to that. She was consistently good last year. This year, she already was standing out to me. She looked like she pretty much only improved, if anything. So for her to join the WWE Performance Center, that is a massive upgrade. Mia Yim is the type of person that, based off of what I've seen her in just the Mae Young Classics, remember, I haven't watched Impact and stuff, but just in the Mae Young Classic itself, she should have been a part of the roster last year and went straight to the NXT roster, not like the people like Dakota Kai and them, where they kind of wait half a year or maybe even a full year, maybe even more than that, to get onto the main roster for NXT. But I think she should have been a part of NXT right out of the gate, and by this point, she should be one of those names that's making a splash on the main roster, or at the very least, one of those guarantees to be called up to the main roster, post WrestleMania, that kind of a thing. So for her to join the company, that is a major plus, not only for her, I'm sure, but also for the women's division in WWE. She's good. So yay, that's pretty awesome. Another thing about somebody coming to WWE, this isn't a guarantee or anything like that, but a little bit of speculation. James Storm posted a picture of himself, and he's with a WWE employee. Hasn't been too much to really clarify exactly what that means, but for him to be with somebody who's wearing a WWE shirt, it kind of makes you wonder. Now, is that just something that we're overblowing? Is it one of those scenarios where maybe he's not actually doing anything all that interesting, he was just hanging out with some buddy of his or something like that? Maybe, maybe not. I tend to lean a little bit more towards maybe this was just a kind of like a friendly, hey, let's meet up and talk some things over a little bit type of thing, because Triple H, we know he had brought James Storm into the mix before. James Storm was a part of NXT for 3 episodes, I think. Maybe it was even 2. And Bobby Roode's in WWE. And Bobby Roode's not doing all that well. But you still would have to assume Roode would want his buddy to be in WWE too. You could always have the team of Beer Money team back up again. That'll definitely get some interest brewing in Monday Night Raw, especially because like Chad Gable teaming with Bobby Roode, it's just not working out. And I like Chad Gable a lot. I would really put him onto one of those like overlooked type of lists, but they're not a good tag team. And if you were to bring James Storm into the mix and maybe put him onto just like move him straight up to the main roster, that kind of a thing, it's not going to happen. But you do that, I think that could be beneficial for not only James Storm, but also for Monday Night Raw. More than anything, I think that this is probably just going to turn out to be a little bit of speculation that leads to kind of nothing. It's just kind of depressing to say. But I'm not expecting 2 days from now for us to hear some kind of story where it's like, breaking news, James Storm signs another deal with NXT or something like that. But it might. So it's worth talking about. I hope so. I think James Storm is running out of time. And if he comes into WWE and he comes in without the expectation that he's going to be some world champion, but he can come in, he can help out Bobby Roode, he can help out, put some other people over in the process, I think that'd be good for him. Kind of look at it as like, a step above Cassius Ohno. Cassius Ohno is not going to make it when it comes to, he's not going to main event WrestleMania. But if he's going to be in NXT, he's going to make a career out of being a WWE guy and doing that kind of a thing. Cool, he still gets to live his dream to a certain extent. And I think James Storm's got a lot more to offer. So if he does come in, major thumbs up when it comes to that too. Let's talk about a new show that could possibly be happening. Matt Hardy is supposedly filming what is essentially a pilot for a new show, which, of course, this is just kind of like bare bones. We don't really know too much of what's going on, but it seems like it would revolve around the Hardy compound. And I would go straight to the assumption that what this is some kind of like a reality show that's a little bit heightened. All reality shows are heightened, so, take that with a grain of salt. But I think it could kind of be like a Holy Foley type thing where maybe they follow the Hardys, they follow Senor Benjamin, they follow the kids, they follow Rebby and Matt, and then, of course, Jeff pops up here and there. But I think it's like the Hardy compound and Aren't We All Crazy? I think that that's probably what it'll be. And whatever they're filming, God knows what that'll be. This is another way to keep Matt Hardy into the mix and give him something to do that he's contributing, but at the same time not have him bumping and stuff like that. I would check it out, of course. I check out every WWE show, at least for the first episode. If it's awful, I might not watch it beyond that point, but it's worth checking out, at least, mildly interesting. And when we get more news about the title of it or the synopsis or anything else like that, that'll be another hot tag in the future. So stay tuned at the very least. It looks like we're getting some kind of a Hardy special. Whether it's a, one shot or if it's an actual, recurring show, it remains to be seen. But, we'll figure it out soon enough. Let's talk about the new actual signatures, the opening for Monday Night Raw. That happened, and it's not just for Monday Night Raw. I don't know why I specified that, but before Raw tonight, WWE debuted a brand new signature opening intro, and this time around, it still has the then, now, forever thing, but it's more akin to how the Marvel Studios intro works, where they've got something that's like sweeping, and you've got little clips of different things here and there, and it's a little bit hard to kind of just like take it all in and really specify which things you're looking at. But then that allows them to add more clips, and, it's not as controversial when certain things are happening. But I was able to pinpoint a couple things here. Features, very first thing is Hogan slamming Andre. So that means Hulk Hogan definitely back into the better, the good swing, kind of. It's got Freddie Blassie. HBK is descending from the ceiling from WrestleMania 12. That's an iconic shot. You got a shot of Ric Flair in his robe, Stone Cold, The Rock, Trish Stratus. I spotted Sasha Banks and Kane and Undertaker. Then they've got, like, for the new people, along with Sasha Banks, they've got Alexa Bliss and Finn Balor and Roman Reigns and John Cena and Triple H is in there. But it's a little too hard to follow, to track certain people. Like, I don't remember seeing Ultimate Warrior. Don't remember seeing Roddy Piper, Bret Hart, so I'm sure they're in there somewhere, but I would really love to see somebody kind of do like a full breakdown of here are all of the clips, here's the shot of Razor Ramon doing this, and here's the shot of this, and this is from Mr. Perfect doing that. I really would like to see somebody do that. I don't have the time, nor the patience, nor even necessarily, to a certain extent, the knowledge, because if you start showing me, Bruno Sammartino against so-and-so, I might not be able to actually pinpoint what it is. But if you spotted anything interesting, drop it in the comments below and tell me what you think. If you think that there was any kind of an oversight, put that out there too. Maybe there's like, hey, there's no S.A. Rios or something like that. But, I don't think anybody's going to be calling out Aldo Montoya or Bam Neely or, like certain people like that. But hey, to each their own. Now, I would talk about what happened on Monday Night Raw tonight with Liv Morgan, but I'm actually going to save that for next week. Now, next week, we're going to be doing our predictions for WWE Super Showdown. So I want to make sure that we don't kind of, repeat ourselves too much and stuff. But the very quick thing that I will say is Brie Bella needs to shake off this ring rust. And if she doesn't have it in her to not be botching left and right like this, they need to send her back to the Performance Center and she needs to stop performing. That's just basically what it is. But we'll get more into that next week. Liv Morgan hopefully is not too injured. If there are any more reports about that, I'm not going to do another hot tag. I haven't done a small package in, God knows how long. But I guess we'll rope that into some kind of a conversation. But last thing for me to talk about for this set of the hot tags is another show-related thing. It was the latest special on the WWE Network, WWE photo shoot with Scott Hall. Loved it. It didn't oh my God, I loved it, it's the best thing ever. But this is a see it as far as the whole see it or skip it type thing. Big fan of going down memory lane of people that I actually have memories of. I loved the shot of Vince McMahon directing the Razor Ramon vignette. That was really cool. Good insight for certain things. Some of it was just, the same kind of stuff that we normally hear about the 1-2-3 Kid beating him and, how cool it is to hang out with the Clique and different things like that. But, it felt like it was like 10 minutes, 15 minutes long. It's probably like 20 minutes long. It went by pretty quick to me. So I would recommend checking it out. I don't want to just talk about everything that he talks about because it's, kind of defeats the purpose of watching it and stuff. But I would say it's worth the time to put on, even if it's just in the background. So those are the hot tags as far as I'm concerned for the week. Of course, we've got a main event coming up later on this week. That'll be not necessarily a follow-up to this, but something else, to sink your teeth into. I'm not 100% sure exactly what that's going to be yet at this point on Monday night when I'm recording this. Although I am leaning towards most likely Superstar Scores Matt Hardy because it does seem like there hasn't been a whole lot of traction lately with any kind of other news about him maybe coming back in certain, different capacities and stuff. But we could also do something else. I mean, it kind of depends on where the momentum is going. And something big could happen on Tuesday or Wednesday. That could be this is a huge noteworthy thing and we should talk about that. Maybe we'll just kind of play it simple and play the game. Maybe we'll do a segment we haven't done in a long time, like Belt or Bury or Heel or Face, leaning less towards the top rope list because kind of don't necessarily want to do a full-on list, but that's sort of what's happening with Superstar Scores anyway. But we got to get to 25 Superstar Scores, so somehow down the lane we're going to have to do some of this anyway. But if you have any suggestions, drop them in the comment section below or vote on the poll that I have on the Facebook group, The Megamaniacs. As far as some other things that you guys should be aware of, it's pretty much the standard stuff, but just in case you don't know, if you want to be aware of when I post these videos, the best thing to do is to hit the subscribe button on YouTube and check off the bell for the email notifications. Another thing to do is to follow the Facebook and Twitter accounts at SmarkOutMoment. Follow my Facebook and Twitter accounts at Tony Mango. You could also follow the A Mango Tree accounts. Pay attention to fanboysanonymous.com as well for anything that's happening on the movie review and superhero talk kind of thing. We've also got the YouTube channel and everything else like that for that, so show your support there. And if you want to show your support on the monetary side of things, there's a couple things for you to be aware of as well. One of them being the Patreon for both Smark Out Moment and Fanboys Anonymous. That one is it's split. There's one apiece, but if you got $1, $5, $20, $4,000, whatever the case may be, and you want to take a part of those different tiers on there, the $20 range is one where you can actually request a different special feature. So if you are, annoyed that we haven't done some kind of a breakdown of, say, you really, really want heel or face Rusev, for instance, then, hey, you toss the $20 towards the Patreon, you're going to get heel or face Rusev. There's also the Redbubble and the TeePublic shops. We got, I think, 5 of them up. There's 2 for Fanboys, 2 for Smark Out Moment, and 1 for A Mango Tees. So check them out. See if there's any kind of merchandise that you'd be interested in buying. And if that's the case, then a little bit of that money comes my way as well. So, it's all kind of, it's all gravy. Well, except for the fact that it's money. But anyway, I think that's about it. So thanks for tuning in, everybody. Thanks, as always, for all your support. And I will see you Wednesday night, Thursday, something like that, with whatever the main event is. Adios, everybody. This has been another Smark Out Moment, and I'm being counted out.